Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, ore of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Alright guys, welcome back to the show. Let's talk about this. I got one question from a long-term viewer, and he's one of the moderators as well. He asked me a question regarding Shiba. So I'm going to talk about Shiba Inu today and some thoughts based on like some critical thinking basically about what's going on or what's happened and what I expect, and obviously doing some research around the market. What's the latest for Shiba and what's the future? We're going to talk about that. But before that, I want to get to one other person, and it's kind of important. So what I want to talk about is this comment here. So let's go into the comments and I'll show you what I mean, right? And I think it's important that I need to answer this question. I have answered it to them as well. And I've invited them. I said, look, this person here, Mac Jason, said, you know, he's telling me about the weekly pattern. Obviously, he's a new viewer, so he hasn't seen our videos that I talk about weekly and daily. I'm a long term. I'm always talking about how the longer the data, the stronger the data. He clearly doesn't know this. So I've actually had a nice little thing then. I've invited him. I said, come to the server, not a problem. I'll happily talk about it. You know, and I've mentioned to him, look, we've talked about the history, how the patterns look like a particular way, and I'll show it to you again here so you do all understand, and kind of repeating myself. And I mean, everyone that views the channel does know this as well. That you know, regularly I do have my warning videos, as well as being bullish, you know. So when we talk about being bullish, we have a specific method of being bullish. We're not just going to hype and FOMO into stuff, right? And when we're talking about bearish, we also do it with complete reasoning. We understand what we expect and how we expect to be bearish. A lot of the viewers here, the older viewers, you know, regular viewers, they all know that we talk about more about being prepared about the bear market. So you got to be prepared for the bear market, not the bull cycle. Can take you anywhere, but how many people are prepared for the bull cycle? So we talk about this, and I'm going to reiterate this. And again, I mean, me doing long replies like this, it's just kind of stupid. I don't have to explain myself to anybody, but ultimately, look, we've got a Discord server now. The link's in the description. Come in, check it out. I'm not even sure if I put it in this particular description, but doesn't matter. The point is the link is going to be in actually, do you know what I'm going to do on my channel? So I believe there's a section here. So on the channel, what I'll do is, you see here where it says public profiles, I'll add it here, or maybe even make the first link here as the Discord link, guys. So please go and check it out. But you know, if you want to talk to me, that's the best way you can have the conversation. It's kind of stupid that I have to go and try and explain. Right, let's go into the charts straight away, or let's do Shiba. Let's do Shiba. So this is where it all started. Brother asked me, what's the future for Shiba? What's going on? And he's holding a lot of Shiba, and he's actually down. So same again, I'm holding quite a bit of Shiba, and I'm also down as well. So I went around looking at Medium posts and everything, looking at Shiba updates, the Shiba army, you know, Twitter, wherever you name it, right? Going around, just checking it out basically. And I found a very interesting post that was done about 3 days ago by, I think his name is Shaitoshi or something like this. I don't know how you pronounce it, but Shaitoshi or something like this, right? So they were talking about, well, basically it was a, hey bro, what's happening? Nice to see you on the chat. So we were seeing the what he wrote about the future progression and how they're doing it, and they're doing a lot of internal shake up inside the company in order to shake it up a little bit, and then, you know, get everything out there. And one of the things that he was talking about was quite fascinating, was that they want to see it to go to at least 10 cents, right? That was interesting. I thought that was kind of fascinating. 10 cents, wow, okay. I mean, that would be insane to see that. So I just sat there, and then we were talking and we were having a conversation, and our conversation led to me literally sitting on a calculator, because I thought it was like 7,000%, or the brother who asked me the question, he thought it was 7x or something, or 700x or something like this. So I sat on the calculator and I said, let me see. And this is what I did. So we did actual price, that was yesterday's price, and I times it, and I just adjusted the number. It was times 147. If it goes to a penny, that's just a penny. So if we go to 10, that's like 1,000,000%. That's ridiculous. So that's what I was looking at. It's just insanely mind-blowing. So just a bit of maths, just a little bit of banter, nothing more. Now, the actual fact is, right, so this is what I want to talk about. It's critical. It's not all about fun and games and being all FOMOing into this. You've got to understand some facts as well. So we know that when they've originally launched the cryptocurrency, they gave, what was his name, Vitalik Buterin, 50% of all the coins. No, bro. Nice to see you, SM. One finally looking good. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Badstock. Thank you. Bartos, thank you. Right, let's talk about this, right? This is the most important thing. Let's be real with this, and there's a problem that everybody sees, right? And it's not just us, the community or deep thinkers, also the developers see this one problem. So understand where I'm coming from. Listen to what I'm about to say. When they originally launched the project, they gave 50% to Vitalik Buterin's wallet, assuming it will never come out again. Okay, so they assumed it was burnt. Everyone was hyping, everyone was happy. But the fact remains that Vitalik Buterin took that Shiba Inu coins and put it out of his wallet and sent it to the founder of the Matic network, the Polygon Matic network. So we have, the promise was to have only 50% of the supply, but we actually have almost 100% of the supply right now in the market. So do you understand the implications of this? So the valuation we saw in the beginning, the $3 billion, right, that was only for 50%. Now the $3 billion is for 100%. And on top of that, remember, it was sent out to the COVID-19 relief in India, right? So what's going to happen is those guys are waiting to dump it. And everybody understands this. More importantly, the developers, they understand this. And what did they do to solve the problem? And this is what I like about them. They kind of solved the problem. So they realized that, okay, we've kind of made a mistake by sending it to Vitalik. We trusted him, but he kind of screwed everybody. Okay, fine. He done what he did. And of course, the community supported it. I mean, it went to a good cause. So the community supported it. I supported it. Everybody supported it, right? We said, sorry, it doesn't matter. At least we were a part of something bigger. So, end of the day, what happened, the developers realized that there's 100% of the supply is back now. So how can they reduce the supply? What they started doing was they started creating these new coins in their ecosystem. You know, Shiba Bone, Shiba this, Shiba that, so many different, like, you know, leash, this, that, so many. What they're doing is they're burning the Shiba. So they're not burning the other coins, they're burning the Shiba Inu coin every time they create these coins, or they give some to people or something like this, or people use it on their decentralized protocol, like the DEX they have, right? Their swap protocol they have, the Shiba swap. So that's actually quite good. So what they started to do, they realized that, damn, we literally shot ourselves in the foot by giving it to this fool, right? And this fool then sends it out to someone else, and the other person is literally sitting there, right? Currently not worth $1 billion, probably worth $500 million. But the point is they're sitting there with a shit ton of Shiba, 50% of all the Shiba. They are literally a whale. And they could easily dump on the market regardless what promises they make. So how can we make sure the community doesn't lose out? The only way we can do this is start burning our own, because the supply is back now. So now they have to manually burn the supply and make sure it goes to a wallet that can never be recovered, right? And then bring it back to that 50%. And that's a good thing. So I see that developers are actively working towards this, right? Which is a good thing. Also, they're doing many updates as well, and their current wolf paper, or the roadmap, is forecasting all the way up to 2023, right? So they are trying to fast track it to get to that level, but they do realize the one big situation that they created themselves. So that was the important thing, and it's very critical. You have to understand that dump is coming. When they're going to do it, we don't know, but that dump is inevitable, all right? Solely because obviously we've got the founders waiting. It was, look, end of the day, I'm not happy about one thing, right? And the one thing that I'm not happy about, you took $1 billion worth of Shiba Inu, Everybody supported it. Right? Maybe a handful of people didn't like it, but majority of the people were happy. You had $1 billion worth. All you had to do was dump it and actually send it to the relief. I mean, if you look at the news now, where's the relief? Sorry, where did you send the money? You only withdrew, I think it was about 20 million last I checked. I can't remember now, but I do remember it was about $20 million worth out of $1 billion. You know, so why did you even take it if you didn't actually send it to the relief fund? I mean, it was a relief fund, but you didn't actually cash out and give it to the people. All of that, nothing makes sense. You know what I mean? So Shiba became, in my opinion, was used, right, for some sort of marketing stunts. That's all I'm going to say. It was a massive, massive marketing stunt. And if you notice, just after what happened to Shiba and all that donation thingy and all the relief funds and everything, Matic got a lot of love. And this is one of the reasons I said I kind of hate Matic, because they're just pulling too many stunts. You don't need it, guys. You don't need it. We liked you for what you are. We believed in you even before you pulled any stunts. That's where the community came from. But since you started pulling these stunts, it hasn't really helped the community, has it? So that's what I was looking at, basically. So that's just wanted to give you that thing. So yes, is it possible we're going to get to this, even 1 cent? Yes. Is it possible to see this? Absolutely. But only if Shiba survives until 2023, in my opinion. Because remember, we have that risk of that 50% or close to 50% being owned by the founders of Matic, right? So just be wary of that one. So don't go on the hype train, okay? Even if you see stuff like this, you got to be very careful. I'm just doing maths here, and this is just insane. Do you know what I mean? Looking at the maths, that if it does go to a cent. And funny thing is, this is the same maths people have done with Dogecoin. Years ago, people did the same maths with Dogecoin, and most people just laughed at them, right? Because Doge was in this kind of a same situation. And look where Doge is today. Do you know what I mean? So ultimately, anything is possible. It's crypto after all. But the only risk that I wanted to let everybody know, that if you're under the impression that there's only 50% of the supply, you're wrong. 100% of the supply is now available. So we're talking about liquid versus illiquid. 100% is available to be dumped at any time. That means us lot, we all have it, everybody has it. But out of that, 50% is what the COVID-19 India Relief Fund has, and which is going to be dumped. They have promised they are going to dump it because they need to give the cash. I just don't see the purpose. I just don't see, well, COVID is over, isn't it? Didn't India just kind of stop everything? So why did you even take it if you didn't really cash out? So it's one of those kind of things anyway. Right. I'm not going to talk anymore on this subject. Let's move over to our own stuff now. Let's move over to what's happening in the market right now. So right now you can see Coin360 doing a great job showing us the volume coming into all of them. And if you notice yesterday, remember this was all green. You can see now the USDT volume started to drop. We can see BTC volume started to drop. We can see Ethereum is started to pump, and DOT, Solana. Right, I don't even need to talk about DOT and Kasuma because they're both pumped together. That's them. Look at Solana. We said $129 target last night, and we're about to go and hit that today. So we'll talk a little bit more about this. This is all happening in a day. So let me go into the other stuff, and I'll show you a little bit more what's going on. So looking at the market data, we can see that money coming out of exchanges, like BTC coming out of exchanges, has started again, but not as high as it should be. Ethereum is on a continuous roll, which is really good, and I'll show you a little bit more. I'm working my way up to there. Right, we can see this was a inflow, and inflow has now stopped for Ethereum. And then here you can see the BTC inflow has also stopped. So this was BTC entering the exchanges, has also stopped. And this was the people who are moving BTC out, basically. So we got all of that data. Market cap, let's have a little look. We had a lovely little bounce today. At the $2 trillion level, and then we from the 2 trillion we went all the way back to 2.1 trillion, which is awesome. Market looking good, but I'll show you how the market is looking good and why the market is looking good very soon. Can Link or Dot do a sol run? Dot can, Link not yet. So that kind of answers it straightforward. Link not yet. Link, because the problem is Link was pre-mined, and a lot of that Link was is still being held by the developers, and they need to what do you call this? They're going to be selling the Link in order to get the funds, so they are actually purposely dumping it themselves whenever they need funds, right? And so that's one of the reasons why Link isn't ready yet. Once Link is completely in people's hands, that's when Link can do whatever. It can discover its own price. Right now the price is not being discovered 100%. I mean, of course we had a little bit of discovery, and when you're talking about Link being cheap, bro, Link was $10 back in the days, a couple of dollars back in the days. That was cheap. Again, we're at the peak of the market and everyone's talking about how something is cheap. That you should have said this question to me, Link is cheap, when we were in May, when we had the May dump. You should have said this to me when Link was down 60% or 70%. You should have said this to me. So that's when I would have agreed to you. Right, let's move on to the other stuff, right? So this is, let's go into BTC. Actually, no, let's move on to Ethereum, because obviously we're here with Ethereum, so we need to talk about Ethereum. This is what I see on Ethereum. It's about to activate. Get ready for it. Look at this. Right, just look at this. Ethereum, the amount of bullish action that's going on in Ethereum. Okay, now let's have a look at BTC when this decides to load, because it's live. They do take a lot of resources. Let's have a look at BTC. So we're looking at the total order book from every single exchange, by the way. So here we can see that the buys, longs, everything is more bullish combined on Ethereum. It's green. We've got a mountain here, right? Where's BTC? Doesn't want to even load. Let me do this quick. Give me a sec. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Okay, this is bugged out. So do you know what? I'm not even going to bother with this one. I have no idea what's going on with this. Let's kill this, because it's just taking too much resources. So I'm going to kill that one. What correction can we see for Sol? We'll talk about that, no worries. Give me a second, let me get into this, right? So this is where we've seen the total market cap, what we saw basically recently, right? So this is the entire market cap. This is the reaction we saw. We had this dump, kind of following the last 3 days of how the entire market reacted, and then we saw this pump. But this pump is being led by Ethereum. Okay, this actual pump is being led by Ethereum, and you can see that we're almost coming into this previous thing, and we're just trying to shoot up, right? But there's more to it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Remember, I told you, follow this Ethereum. This is the pattern we're looking for. Well, look what Ethereum just did. It just broke out. Ethereum literally just broke out and left BTC behind. This whole market pump was being led by Ethereum. I kept on telling everybody, keep an eye on this. This will indicate whether the market is going up or if it's not. Please, can you share any information any chart information on ICP? Yeah, sure, I'll do an ICP. No problem, bro. But yeah, this is what you got basically. So you've got Ethereum just broke out. Very simple. I don't need to say anymore. And you know what I've said basically. Once we break out, smash out of what the next target is, and the next target brings us close to the previous all-time high. And if this is a actual bull flag breakout, then it should take us to $4,993. I have talked about it the other day as well. So still on target for this, unless the market decides to go down. But this so far seems awesome. Also, when I'm looking at the control, I can see bears are not really in control, right? This push was a power push. You can see it was a power breakout. So we were struggling between these levels here, right? And I'll just change the color to show you what I mean. See this red level? We were actually bouncing around here. Basically, we couldn't break. We couldn't decide. So if we went down, we would have accepted that, right? But we didn't. Instead, we knew we were going to have a breakout because this was part of the bull flag, and the bull flag is showing us it just wants to shoot up. So this is a power move. And I did mention to a few people, well, actually I mentioned on a video, I said, look guys, it's only Monday, and I think I did it yesterday. I said, it's only Monday, just give it a few more days, watch what it does, right? So this is what's going on. But I wasn't talking about Ethereum, I was talking about the entire market cap, and you can see Ethereum was definitely leading the whole time. BTC, BTC, I don't know if you remember this chart, right? So we were talking about this channel, right? And we drew this channel on the video, and this was the channel, and we said, right, this is what's going to happen. And we were always talking about this $46,000 level that we need to respect, all right? We even left a thing there. Where is it? Not on this one. So I'll show you the other one. Sorry, I use multiple charts. So here it was, right? We left this thing there, and we said, like, we needed to be around the $46,000 level and respect that. The reason we wanted the $46,000 level was because of the 200-day moving average, right? So we can get an indicator, MA, and I can show you what I mean. Moving average. Right, we need to stay above the 200-day moving average, whatever happens, you know, because if we fall below this, then we're going to have a problem. And you can see every time we went close enough, the bulls just came in and basically reacted and said, no, it's not going to happen. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep it above. And I'll put a red line there. Thick red line. Actually, make it, yeah, let's do green line. There you go. So you can see here, right, every time we come close to this, we get this big bounce, right? And all of this coincides with the dates as well. So you can see the 27th, remember, just before the 27th, we started seeing the dump. And normally what I said was, I've always maintained this, if we see a pump before, we see a dump after. So here, we did have a slight dump, but then we did see a pump, which kind of ruined everything. And then now you can see how we've been dumping. Do you know what I mean? So this was the key, basically. So after a dump, what do we expect? A pump, obviously. That's the channel's logo. Everyone should know this. So Solana, let's go through the questions one by one, and let's have a look at the time. Okay, I've got 20 minutes to complete this because I've got to get ready and go. So let's look at Solana. What's the worst case scenario for Solana? To be honest, short term, right? Actually, you wanted Link, wasn't it? We'll talk about Link as well, no worries. Link has a chance, right? But Link is on another level. Let's switch some of this off. This is insane. All right, I don't even know why you know what, let's get rid of all of this because we don't need any of this stuff. Because of what we're doing right now, we don't need any of the stuff. If we're going to do a minimum target right now and say, okay, what's going to be the short-term target? Well, this is the short-term target. And if we want to do a long-term target, then we can take this point again and we can come down here and say, this is what it is. And if we want to go longer than that and say, right, what if we do a market cycle top and this market cycle continues, then we can do something even better. We can use this previous one and we can calculate from here and say, well, what would we expect? How high would we expect? I mean, we've met those. Wow, this is insane. We've done those. So now we need to do a new one. This is ridiculous. So if I do a new one from approximately here and take it down here, then the new forecast would be $200. Right, so Solana, new long-term forecast $200, short-term forecast, we've got two, right? The best one we've got is $185 here, 197. So between 185 197, and then if we do have a proper market top out, then we're looking at the what do you call this? So we can exclude this one. We don't need this one anymore. But this two price we can look at. We're looking anything from $185 to $200 in the near short term, and this would be the market top. So when we have this and we say what's the worst case scenario, how far could it drop? It's 50%, bro. Right? Remember, the worst case scenario should be always minimum 50%. It could be even more. Right, that's what's going to be. So when you're looking at dumps, you know how market reacts. If the market, say BTC dumps by 50%, everything else is going to dump by 90%. So, but Solana is a strong contender, and I believe Solana can actually go all the way to $400. It's what we've been talking about. Like, for example, like yesterday's video, remember I had a little rant and I said how someone should have been telling you guys that this could do this when it was at that price. So when we were sitting at like Ethereum levels, so this is kind of related to yesterday's video, right? I said, like, you should have been telling people, like, you know, other influencers should have been telling people that Ethereum's going to go to 2K, 3K. I was doing it, so they should have done the same thing. So here I've always mentioned, like, Solana has a chance to go to $100, anything up to $400, and it's not financial advice, but anything up to $400. And so far we're going and we're reaching those targets. Of course, when we go high enough, we can see a dump, 80-90% dump, but we want to also be realistic, right, and say, okay, what's this doing? And we can see this is kind of front running Cardano and all sorts of other stuff. People like the transaction throughput, people like the technology. It's definitely got a lot of attention, so we know that this has the capacity to pump even more. But one thing we don't do is we don't go to the moon from here. We don't say, oh, $1 is going to do you 100x. We don't say that. Rather than doing that, what we do is we say, once we meet the target, then we create a new target. And that's how we basically go forward. And every time we have a target, we know that we can expect a 50% dump. But Solana so far has been good, right? It has the potential to be a nice competitor to Ethereum. Let's see where it goes from there. But so far, yep. So we've got between $185 to $200. Let's just keep it there. And once we reach those targets, we made a target yesterday, $129, and today we're almost there. What is it? 121, almost there. Getting a minor rejection, nothing much tonight. So yeah, I know why you're asking me, SM. I know exactly why you're asking me. So I just realized that. You want to buy the dip? I'll be honest with you, that would be a tough one. If you did want to buy a dip, bro, all right, and let's just do it this way, because it's going to be a very tough one. As I said, Solana's been on a rip every single day, so this is going to be tough. If you are looking for the worst possible price right now, would be 93. So if we did have a little bit of a pullback, we might go to $93. Now I understand why you asked me that, but more likely, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even going to look at this 93. I'm going to be more likely by using yesterday's candle and say, if we did have a little pullback, with the way Solana, the way it's reacting and the way it's pumping, we might actually go back to $100 or $103 here, basically. So it's going to be a very miniature pullback. As you can see, looking at this, it's just on a rip, because more and more people are coming there. And remember all the hype around it, all the big influencers telling people to dump their Ethereum and go to this. And you know what happened when they were dumping all the Ethereum? Well, guess what? The whales came in and bought the Ethereum. They bought cheap Ethereum from stupid people, and now they're going to pump the market. And those same people who just got rid of their bags, went into Solana for $10, $20, are going to see this pump to $1,000, and they're going to be crying later. And then there's all regrets. So that's what I say. Why compete? Have all of them. There's no harm. All right, let's talk about Link USD. All right, Link USD has future, but the question is how far, when? This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Right, so this is an old chart I did, right? And I'll show you something about Link. So you can see this curve, and I want to show you this curve. That's why I brought you here. So you see this curve here we've got. Forget about the drop, forget about the dump, forget about everything. This is a curve I was showing everyone. And at that time I was saying, look guys, we're inside a long-term wedge. We're going to have a little dump. Forget all of that. Gradually over time, Link is definitely going to go, to some levels, right? And I can even get rid of all of this actually, because it's kind of messy, right? Over a long time, definitely Link has been growing, right? And it has the potential to go to different places. So we can take the market high, we can take the previous market low, the 2020 low, and we can look at it and we can see an $86. But in the future, as long as we can keep this curve as it is, right? This kind of a curve moving upwards, and when we know that the developers have depleted all of their holding, then we could see a $200, $300, $400 Link. And the Link Marines, right? The big fans, right? Including myself. Remember one thing, the Link Marines, or anybody, like for example, if you're part of a Shiba army because you bought it at a very dirty price, or say AMP or Cardano or Scale or a few other coins I can mention, like penny coins, right? Well, you bought it at pennies and now it's at dollars. Of course, you're part of the army. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to what's it called, Link, I could call myself an army because I bought it around, where was it? Yeah, I think it wasn't here. It was around here. Yeah, it was somewhere around here. Actually, no, this was March. No, this is here. So here, this is it. I didn't buy it here. I actually bought it around here somewhere. So you can see I bought it around here somewhere. So for me, when I've had this gains, I'm part of the Link Marines as well. I'm a believer because end of the day, I took my initial out. I'm in it for the profit, and it's keeping going up. As long as it goes up, I'm making money. So that's how you become part of the family, basically, sometimes. And you do understand, you hype in it because it's free money for me. So when it goes up more, I make more money. So that's what it is, but be realistic. That's what I'm saying. Right now, the market cycle top, if we do see one, we might see an 86, 87, maybe even $100. I'm just being hypothetical here, but as I said, be realistic, because once the developers dump, then we could see the action, not before that. So I'm not going to repeat myself on that one. So SM, I know you got your answer, bro. Now you're talking about ICP. Let's have a look at ICP. ICP is a disaster. The technology is awesome. What they're trying to do is just awesome. But the project, the coin, is a disaster. It's a disaster. Let me explain this to you, right? You'll understand. This project is showing here, whatever its data is showing, forget that. That's when it launched. This project has been around since 2015. They had millions and millions of dollars already invested by venture capitals and hedge funds who bought this project shares or whatever for for literally nothing. And they were all promised that when this coin launches, they'll get their, for whatever money they paid, they'll get that amount in their coins. So imagine this, right? Venture capitalists, hedge funds bought it for pennies. They waited almost 4 years, 5 years for this to come to an exchange. And the day it came to an exchange was coordinated. It went to Binance, it went to Huobi, it went to Coinbase, all at the same time, the same day. So everyone's all bullish. This is a big project coming in. What did the investors do? The early investors who waited 5 years, remember, they waited 4 to 5 years. They dumped, right? That's when they dumped at 700 or something, or $500 or something like this. And it came all the way down to the floor, literally. So when you've got something that goes down like God knows how many percent, let's do the maths here. This is ridiculous. I'll show you this. This is the launch, and it dumped all the way down to that candle there. So we can use that, and we can see the percentage. It dumped 99%. Do you know what I mean? 99%. Has it got a future? The technology definitely does. Has the coin got a future? In the future, it will definitely have a future. Because I don't think, once we get all the institutions out, then we can start growing. For this season, as you can see, it's definitely been picking up, right? So that was the worst of it, to be honest. It's picking up. But unfortunately for it, it's doing all of this at a bad time, if that makes any sense. And I'll explain to you at a bad time right now. So if we go to this chart, and if we deactivate all of this and put it on a weekly, what I'm trying to say is this. Let me show you. Right, it's doing it at a bad time. So what is a bad time? This is a bad time. If it did it around these levels when the market was around here, remember we use this as an indicator for us as well to understand what the market sentiment is. If it was doing it around here, if it dumped all the way and it was right, this had a good chance to pump. But unfortunately, ICP decided to launch when we were down here and kind of felt the full force. Right now it's down here and it's going to struggle, and if you look carefully, we don't really have much time until we go there, right? In fact, after the 20th of September, whatever the news, and the 1st of October, whatever news, so we've got this 2-week bracket. After that, whatever the news, whatever the FUD comes out, if the market doesn't react, right, and if the market manages, remember this blue line is important, if the market manages to get above this blue line, then it won't take us too long to get to this level. We could even do it in a couple of weeks. Now obviously I want to answer another question while I'm here as well, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So we know we talked about this particular dead cat bounce, right? I want to talk about this again, right? So this is what's happened in, say, for example, 2013 or whatever, right? Every time it happens, and I've talked about this, how whenever we have these pumps, right? We have these massive pumps, and we come to these particular levels where we retest those, we end up failing and then having a dump and coming back down. Now, I have talked about this, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, right? You know, after every one of these dumps, we have this. Now, I know the person who asked that question on the comment, the name just went out of my head. I'm sure I asked. Let me see what the name was. It wasn't here. What was the name? Well, I can't see it now. Do you know what? Forget it. But the question is, look, he's saying, you know, how we have a dead cat bounce. Now, of course, you're looking at weekly time frame, great, but that wasn't the dead cat bounce. It usually happens far more quicker. So if I do put it on a daily, you'll understand what happens, right? The bounces happen very fast. So we have this rapid market down. Right, let me bring it here for you and make it larger for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So you see, it does it within days, it's not weeks. Market goes up, parabolic, then dumps fast, and then tries to retest the specific level, and it comes down. It just fails. It does it usually within a few days or whatever. Now, when we were looking at the market ourselves, right, when we saw the market and we said, oh, what's going on, you know, is the market doing okay, you know, why we're doing certain things, right? We're looking at this, and we talked about one specific level which was very, very powerful and very important to us, right? And it was the reason it was important because I've clearly mentioned this dead cat bounce possible if we don't beat this level. So you see this again, same to you, you didn't really watch my video. If you did, you would have understood this rather than jump into conclusions. I've talked about how we've done this run up, and if we don't break this neckline, we're coming back down again. And even if we come up here, if we took weeks and weeks to come up here, and if we don't break this $56,000 to $58,000 or $59,000 level, right, whatever you want to call it, if we don't break this 58k whatever level neckline, we're in trouble. So please do watch the videos, and if you don't want to watch the videos and you just want to ask me a question, go to Discord, ask me the question, I'll answer it for you. I'll even give you evidence. I don't change my charts. I'm not your usual TA guy. I don't claim to be a TA. I don't claim to be some sort of a specialist, right? But I'm going to give you facts. I'm going to give you logic. I'm going to give you all of this. I don't need fame and this and that. Oh, the most famous. I don't need none of that. I'm not here for that, guys. I just want to give you clear-cut, clean information with facts, right? So I have talked about it, that if we don't get above this $58,000 level, we're still in trouble. This could easily be a complete fake out, right? It's not a breakout, it's a fake out. So you can see we're struggling around these levels. Okay, we need to get above this, and each time we do, and also I don't just jump from one end to the other. We always have targets that we need to break. We had a neckline here, we had to break. We got the drawing here. We had a neckline here, we had to break, and that's where we haven't even reached yet, right? But I also used the log chart in order to kind of guide me and to say, well, where are you right now? You know, so when I take all of this, I'm like, okay, I'm just below the green line, the blue line right now. So am I still in a safe zone? Of course. You know what I mean? I'm still in a safe zone, because my rejection point is here, but I'm still in a pretty safe zone. If, and this is the if scenario, if we break above the this blue line, then the market continues to pump, right? If the market doesn't and it rejects, we're still okay as long as we can hold this 200-day. If we fail this 200-day moving average, we're coming down. So there's a lot going on, and this is why I made a video, and then everyone kind of laughed about it as well. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? You know, the video was very simple. Are you prepared? What was it? Let's see. Where did I put it? Okay, let's put it here. Let's get it here. Right, it's a very, you know, it's a video I put on. I said, are you prepared? Here, look, Bitcoin, the end is near, right? Bitcoin, the end is near. When did I do it? When did I post? 2 weeks ago. Look, the end is near. Are you prepared? Right? Are you prepared? You know, all the other stuff I put in, it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's there. You know, and I'm telling everyone that, guys, you got to be prepared. You know, it's not about being, oh, I'm going to go in the bull run, I'm going to make $1 billion. That's, well, you're allowed to dream. It's fine, you know, but be realistic. This is a key level we need to cross. Last time we crossed it, look how we got rejected. And then when we did eventually break it, look at that power move. Just look at history. History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. And look at this. Look at this. When we can't break back above this, what do? We stick around here for a very long time. But if we do break out, we go parabolic and we're only up for a very short time. Here you can see we went up for a very short time. We got rejected. It's absolutely fine. That doesn't mean it's over. It means we still have a chance to go up. Can we do it within the next couple of weeks, couple of months? Maybe not. You know, is it going to take another year to get to there? Maybe, you know, but ultimately we have to look at the facts and say where we are right now. So is this a bullish area? Of course it is, because when does the market go parabolic? When we're above this line. And when it does go parabolic, we are bound to come to these levels and make these massive gains, you know. So this is why when people come in and say, you know, oh, I want to buy some BTC, or what shall I buy? And I'll be like, yeah, you buy some BTC, but you got to be prepared to hold it for 5 years. If you're not prepared for 5 years, then there's no point in you being in it, because we're going to have these massive swings up, massive swings down, and you're not going to be able to handle it emotionally. You're going to get wrecked. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I think I said enough, but I hope you all understand what's going on. Now, of course, I know some people are probably waiting to hear, what do we expect for BTC? Well, let's have a look and see what do we expect for BTC, guys, just before I close this show. Where are we today? We're here. This is where we are, right? So if we did expect to see BTC go down, then we can expect it to find support. So you see this strong support here. From if we look at the support and if we look at where we are today, for example, just keep it here. We can use this data and we can say, well, worst case scenario 42, but this is the worst case scenario, but realistically you can see, right, we've got this 45.5 to this $46,000 level. There's a $500 different dollar discrepancy, because you can see the 200-day moving average slightly moved down now. So that's what it is. There's a little bit of a discrepancy there, but ultimately $500 here, that's the, you know, basic, like, you know, we can actually look at, like, if we did come down, and that should respect the 200-day. That's what we're looking for anyway, short term, right? If we were to go down, and if you want to go up, and I am using if statement, which I don't use normally, but I will use those today. If we were to, then we can look at this previous high and we say, right, if we're going to use this and again use the same data point, so we're trying to use the same data point, we can say, right, if we did have a nice little pump, then we should be able to break out of this range, which we've been struggling to get into, as you can see, and finally get into this $52,582 level. Also, I don't know if you remember, a lot of you guys, I actually said it on WhatsApp, which is now going to be closed very soon. So I'm not really using WhatsApp anymore. Everything's going to be on Discord. I did mention when we had this 50k level here, I mentioned to a few people in the group, I said, who sold? Because I was telling them how I'm bearish. And I asked them, I said, who sold? Because I did, right? So it will be interesting to know. Let me know in the comments, did you sell here and did you buy this dip here at the 47? All right, because that's what I did basically. I picked it up at 47 and I was quite happy, and I actually picked it up on this candle, I believe it was. Yeah, it's this candle here. I picked it up. So hope this was helpful, and hope this answered all your questions, especially all of the comments and everything. Guys, I really appreciate your comments on the videos, honestly I do, but I don't want to do lengthy explanations, and for you guys to comment or talk to me, remember, we've got a Discord server. Come and talk to us, no problem. I'm there all the time. I've got massive bots over there, loads of crazy stuff going on over there. I mean, so I've got nice little sections. Leave that for now. So for example, who's this? So yeah, I've just what do you call this, all the links get posted here now on the group, right? So on multiple group, even I've got a section here for the live stream. I'm actually going to probably take this away. So I am still updating, so I'll probably take that away. But any live streams, any video uploads immediately come up here. I've got two sections for the paid members, which is going to be activated very soon once I can verify who the paid members are, and I'll actually have a few more modifications for that. So that will be that. Subscriber questions, suggestions, giveaways. Obviously, we've got the big giveaway here. here. Go and check it out, what the rules are for giveaway. Got the chatting, also sends the automatic links here as well. So this is how it is. Memes, you can actually have memes here, and you can actually upvote them, and when you upvote them, they will come here, and you rank up. So it's got leveling system and everything as well. There's a lot of stuff here, and I actually connected an AI, so you can go and talk to an AI, and I mean, watch out for the answers. It's ridiculous, right? So I'll leave that there for you. Have a bit of fun. So yeah, there's loads of other stuff basically, and I'm still working on it. It's not finished, but look, ultimately, when you come and join, you're going to be as a new member, you come here, you can talk. That's not an issue. I'm here for you, right? After the show, come meet me here, not to worry. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, guys, and I don't mention this like all the time, but if you're new to the channel, you know what to do, right? Hit that subscribe button, all right? Press that bell button, press all. That's what you need to do, right? You hit that bell, you hit all, whatever you do, right? You hit that, that's what you do. So I hope this kind of helps you see what's going on, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So I'm not going to make this any longer. I have to go because I've got about 10 minutes left on my battery, and I'm not even joking. But yeah, hope this was informative. I'm gonna now go. Adios, my amigos.